Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mrs. Roberts here to review with you our plans for end of course testing and final exams for the fall 2019 semester. So, as usual with exams, we will have an alternate schedule that will be happening beginning with our first end of course exam on Friday, the 13th. That's going to be this Friday. This schedule has been available on the website. We're going to get it rolled out to y'all now with these coming up this week and next week. So first thing to note is as our class schedules change, that you are still expected, to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. So we do have some students that are traveling to Saluda High School and to CNA, and those students will need to follow their Saluda High School or CNA schedule and then catch back up with us whenever they arrive. But for everybody else, you are expected to be at class whenever it starts and able to take your exams and do what you need to do. So our first end of course test will be happening this Friday, the 13th, and we will be doing the exam for second block end of course tests. So end of course tests are indicated here. These are the classes like English 2, Algebra 1, Intermediate Algebra, Biology 1, US History, and select English 1 courses. This is not all English 1 courses. These exams are required to count for 20% of the grade, and these are scored by the South Carolina Assessment Program. So those are things that we're going to take those on our Chromebooks. I believe that y'all have all prepared for those in your classes, and we're going to start taking those tests on Friday. So the way we're going to make room in our schedule for the end of course test is by lengthening our second block of the day. So you can see this is when we're going to be having the end of course test. So second block or whatever test that we're taking that day will happen from 9:15 to 11:35, meaning that we're going to shorten first block for basically the duration of the exams. So Friday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, first block will be 8:05 to 9:05, and then we will go to the testing block. Friday, that will be second block. Tuesday, the 17th, that will be third block. And then Wednesday, the 18th, that will be fourth block. We will follow the end of course exams with halftime and then proceeding with our regular day. So third block, fourth block on Friday. Then on Tuesday, because we did third block during the time for second block, we'll do second block during the time for third block. And same thing on Wednesday, because we're going to have fourth block during the time of second block, we will have second block during the time of fourth block. So basically just whatever test we're taking that day during the normal second block time, that's where that class has moved to. So everybody should receive in overtime today a copy of this schedule from your overtime teacher. Make sure you have access to this. This is the schedule that'll be on for those days. Some students will be testing by subject area, and their teachers will let them know specifically if they're testing with a particular accommodation. Now moving on to our final exams. Final exams will happen Thursday, the 19th, and Friday, the 20th. And this is the schedule we're looking at there. So we're trying to give every exam block around 2 hours to be able to take that exam, which means on Thursday, the 19th, we'll have first block and second block a little bit shorter. Not by much, but just a little bit, and backing up halftime. Most of our time to allow for that extra time in the schedule is going to be happening coming out of halftime. So we can give that time to the exam blocks. And then on Friday, we have a half day for students. So we're just going to do 2 hours in first block, 2 hours in second block, and then we'll have halftime available for students who need lunch, and buses will leave at 12:40. So if a student happens to be exempt from their exam, but does show up to school during that exam block, you are expected to report to your exam period block. So if you have exempt your exam and you still come to school that day, you must still go to class. So speaking of exam exemptions, the exam exemption policy is provided to you in the exam guide that you're receiving today. This is something you just want to verify with your teacher before you don't come for that exam block. You want to verify, make sure that you have met the requirements. You do not just decide that you have, met the exemption requirements. Please verify with your teachers. Your teachers have to verify that with the main office, and then we give a form back to the teachers to verify that the student is eligible for exemption. So please make sure that you're verifying that if you are exempting an exam. And we're looking forward to having an excellent end of course and final exam season, a great close to the semester. Y'all, only a few days left to get those grades in and get your credits. So make sure that you earn those credits for the time that you put in, and have a wonderful Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.